Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you are all doing well. Now this is a brand new thing for me. I've never done decoupage at all, let alone try serviettes or napkins in Jesmonite. Now there is an amazing channel on YouTube called Art, and I have seen her do some incredible work with rice paper, but I haven't seen anyone use napkins. I'm pretty sure there's hundreds out there who have. So I'm going to be using my PVA glue, my school glue, to glue these napkins onto Jesmonite. Now I'm pretty sure they will glue on okay. The question is whether they will be functional coasters at the end of it. I'm using my absolute favourite go-to coaster mould by Moulds and Shapes. This is their round coaster mould. They are gorgeous, chunky coasters, perfectly ideal for your average mug. I do have some huge mugs, but these are a good 10 centimetres across. I'm just mixing up my Jesmonite, and honestly I'm keeping it plain because the napkins themselves have a gorgeous cream organic kind of background to them, and I figured they would work beautifully on the Jesmonite. If I coloured the Jesmonite in any way, it might show through the napkin. And this project is pretty simple actually. It's kind of just like a two-step process if you just count making the Jesmonite coasters and then sticking on the napkins. But of course there is a lot more that goes into it. Once I've mixed my Jesmonite and I've poured it into the mould, this is where I've talked in previous videos about being able to shimmy and shake your mould, because these are pretty plain Jesmonite. I don't have to worry like I did with the gnomes. When I piped the gnome design, I had to worry about them, but I don't have to worry with this. There's nothing in here, so I can really whack it around, shake it, give it a shimmy, swipe it across my desk, lift up the mould, bash the mould back down just to dislodge any bubbles. And a really quick 30 minutes later, we are ready to demold, and we have ourselves 4 pretty gorgeous plain Jesmonite coasters. Even as they are right now, they're just beautiful, I think. I'm putting them on my drying rack overnight to cure. And then, oh my gosh, the next day, it's time to get the napkins ready. Now, the napkins do actually say they are a 3-ply, but it was so hard for me to get that third one. The first one came off really easy. I was thinking, there's no way there's another layer here, no way. And then I saw that little green line and I was like, okay, we can do this. But wow, was it fiddly. Now, like I said at the beginning of the video, I have never decoupaged anything. So again, I'm just kind of going with the flow and hoping that I'm doing this right. I'm just using minimal amount of PVA with a big fluffy brush and getting it on there. I'm getting quite a bit on there, but not in a thick layer. You know, I'm making sure that the whole coaster is coated, because this was kind of scary. It was one of those things that I was going to post regardless of the outcome, because I feel like a couple of people have asked me about it, and I've always said I really don't know, I've never tried. So I figured if it doesn't work, if this does not work, then I'm going to post this video regardless so that we can all learn together. And yeah, I might even get some helpful advice and tips on how to do it better next time. So I am just using my rolling pin. I don't know if this is the right thing to do because I've never done this before with serviettes. So yeah, I'm just using my rolling pin to squish it down onto the glue, and then I'm just going to set that aside to dry overnight again. So this really is like a 3-day project. The first day we are making the Jesmonite coasters. They need to cure overnight before adding anything else. And then the glue needs to cure, maybe not overnight, but I was being overly cautious, having never done this before. And yeah. Then next up, I decided to put this little foxy. How cute are these napkins? I've never used the word napkins. I've always used the word serviette. So it's really weird for me to say the word napkin. It doesn't roll off my tongue naturally. So forgive me. I'm going to have to call them serviettes because that's kind of what I grew up saying. But anyway, these serviettes, if anyone's interested, are from TESCO's. That is a supermarket here in the UK, and I think most of Europe also has a TESCO's, but whether they do the same kind of serviettes, I don't know. I just loved these. They are just, I guess they're just like wildlife, aren't they? If you're watching from the USA or Australia, where you have things that roam around that can hurt you, this serviette depicts the absolute top of all of the wildlife in the UK that can't do any damage at all. So we've got the little bunnies and the foxes and the deer and the badgers and all of the soft fluffy things. I mean, don't get me wrong, they can, you know, foxes and badgers I'm pretty sure could do some damage, but we've got nothing like you guys. So yeah, if you're wondering ever, not that you ever did, if you're ever wondering about the wildlife in the UK, this serviette sums it up. We've even got little robins sitting on the deer and I love it. So this is the next day. They are all dry completely. I was really happy actually. I gave them a rub and nothing was coming off, and I feel like the serviette soaked up enough glue to almost seal it already. Like I felt like it was pretty much sealed already. So I am just speeding this bit up because nobody needs to sit through this in real time. I'm using the smallest nail file. I have these on hand when I'm working with Jesmonite. Very similar to resin, the edges can be quite sharp. So I'm just brushing the nail file on the Jesmonite coaster in a downwards motion to get the rest of that serviette off. And it worked so well. I don't know why I've not done this before. I absolutely love it. Now, it is time to seal. This is the part I was most nervous about. I was keeping my fingers crossed because basically this is the thinnest kind of paper you can ever get. And I just felt like, did the glue do enough to make sure that this now doesn't bubble up when I put the liquid sealer on? So far so good. As soon as the first one kind of came out okay, I felt a little bit more confident moving forward, but I was very cautious that sealing them, the reason I'm sealing them is because I want to use them as coasters. I want them to be waterproof, I want them to be scratch proof, and yeah, as soon as I kind of started sealing them, I was just really scared. I was so scared they were going to start bubbling up and that would be the end of the project, and I would still share that with you and share the findings with you so that we all don't go ahead and make the same mistake. So these do need 2 coats, and the second coat is the neat Jesmonite sealer. Once I've done that, I leave them to dry again overnight. So like 4 days later, we have some coasters, and honestly, if I'm honest, they're rough. They are rough, and I don't mean done poorly. I mean the surface, the texture of the surface is quite rough. Let me know if you've done decoupage before. Is that normal? Is that kind of what happens? Like if I was to put these on glass bottles, would they come out exactly the same way? The surface is bumpy and a rough texture to touch, but I'm not angry about it. I'm okay with it. Like I've always said, handmade and not created in a factory on a mass production line. I'm okay with it. The gold pen was an absolute must for me. The gold, I felt, really brought out all of those colours of nature and the Christmas berries and all of just the beautiful colours, and the gold finished it off, and I absolutely love the gold accent with these. I think they just bring them to life. So I just went around all of the edges of all 4 coasters, and then I went on the top. I brought the gold up and over around the inside rim of these coasters just to give it a little bit more of a wow factor. Look at these, I love them. These are going to be finished off with a cork base, but most importantly we need to do a heat test. So I am filling up a mug of boiling water straight from the kettle, straight onto the coaster. I walked away for 10 minutes, set my alarm on my phone, and I came back after 10 minutes and wanted to see what happens. It stuck to the cup. So, you know when you get really lightweight coasters, even shop bought coasters, they're lightweight, so your cup actually sucks to them and picks them up. I was worried at first. I thought I have ruined it. It has stuck to my cup, but there was no damage whatsoever. I think that was just the heat, because really we don't tend to leave our cups on our coasters straight from the kettle for 10 minutes. I was scratching it. I was going in. I was really rubbing it. All of my fingernails. I was really trying to get in there to see if there was any wear or tear of that napkin at all, and there wasn't. There really wasn't. I was so happy. Now the only thing to do really is to just try and make them more weighty. So of course I will be adding a cork background like you saw on my Jesmonite gnome piped design trivet, I will be adding a cork background to these. So I'm wondering if that is going to weigh them down just a little bit more so that the cup doesn't then lift them up. But I'll be honest, when I have a cup of tea, I have never grabbed a cup of tea, put it on a coaster and just left it sitting there for ages. I am such a tea head. I am such an addict. I'm straight away drinking. I drink tea boiling, piping hot. So I guess it depends what you're looking for. As a whole, this really worked. And what excites me is that I get excited over this, over small things. Like really, I can walk into a store and I can see a serviette, a pack of serviettes, and I will literally get heart flutters because the serviette is so beautiful. So I know we've done paper and Jesmonite, and I feel the same way about papers. Oh my gosh, I feel the same way about papers. But knowing that next time I see a pack of serviettes, if I fall in love, which I do a lot because I'm a Leo, so I'm allowed, I can grab them and I know that they all work on Jesmonite. And the thing is, they don't have to be coasters. They could be Christmas trinket trays, Christmas gifts, Christmas baubles. Come on. You could, oh my gosh, stop it. You could make Christmas baubles that match your Christmas decor, okay? So, oh, you could have plates, serviettes to match, Christmas tree baubles to match because you've made them to match with the serviettes that you'll use. Oh my gosh. Like, that's why I get excited, because the possibilities, it's the possibilities. Will I do it? Probably not. But my brain starts whirring and I'm like, oh my gosh, what if we could do this? We could just do it all. Sadly, not enough time in the day. But I hope you found this video really helpful, because I've been truly wondering if this will work or not. Let me know again if you are a decoupage artist, because again, the surfaces are quite rough. Is that normal? Is that to be expected? Did I use the right glue? Did I use the wrong glue? What would you do differently if you were making these? Because like I said, never made them before. So any advice moving forward with serviettes and Jesmonite would be greatly appreciated in the comment section down below, because to be honest, you can just help everyone else as well, whoever's watching. Like I said in the gnome video, Jesmonite is not widely available in the US. You can get it on Etsy. Some independent sellers do sell it off, but do check out aqua resin if you're interested in the same kind of eco resin. Do check out aqua resin over there in the USA, whereas Jesmonite is widely available in most other countries: Australia, India, Canada, across Europe. So yeah, for anyone else watching, I hope you found this helpful, and if anything, a little bit inspiring. I appreciate you massively if you are still here. Honestly, take a breath, Claire. I will see you all in the next video. Bye.
Last year I thought about how things can come around just like that if everyone is here to celebrate one day. We have our ups and downs, but when there's love, there's always a way. And oh, this time of year we come together to celebrate. Yes, every time the snow is falling down and it is cold outside, we gather around the fireplace and no one cares about yesterday. My favorite holiday, it means so much more than words can say. And I claim that Christmas is a magic day. Sometimes I tend to forget what glory this holiday represents, but it's fair to say that Christmas is a magic day. This year I'll think about how I'm so lucky to have a place that I can come home to. Yes, I am on my way.